Have you ever had one of those amazing ideas for an app, but then you get totally stuck on, well, how do you actually build it? Today, we're going to demystify that whole journey. We're going to take you from that first little spark of a concept all the way to a live product that anyone, anywhere can use right from their web browser.
But first things first, we have to ask the most fundamental question. Are we talking about a website or are we talking about a web app? Now, it might sound like a really simple question, but trust me, the answer here sets the stage for everything that comes after. Getting this right is absolutely step one.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by figuring out what a web app even is, then look at the business case for building one. After that, we'll walk through the 6-stage development roadmap, we'll decode what drives the cost, and then we'll wrap up by thinking about your next big idea.
Okay, let's dive right in. What is it that actually separates a plain old website from a really powerful web app?
Here's the core difference. A traditional website, it's kind of like a digital brochure. It's there to show you information, right? You read it, you look at it. A web application, on the other hand, is a tool. It's all about interaction. It's designed for you to do things.
So the official definition is that a web app is just a software program that runs in your browser. But the real magic is in that last part. No download necessary. Your users just click a link and boom, it works. That level of convenience, it's a total game changer.
You know, the term web app covers a massive range of possibilities. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. So let's just take a quick tour through this universe of web apps to see just how diverse and powerful they can really be.
So you've got dynamic web apps, where users can actually update information. Think of a blog platform or a forum. Then you have e-commerce apps, which are basically entire online stores. Portal web apps are all about centralizing huge amounts of data, like a university's student portal. And then there are progressive web apps, or PWAs, which are really the new frontier. They're incredibly fast, they can work offline, and they can even send you push notifications.
Now, from a technical standpoint, apps usually fall into two main camps. You've got single-page apps, or SPAs. They're heavy on what we call front-end tech. That's all the stuff you see and interact with, and it makes them feel incredibly fast and smooth. On the other side, you have multi-page apps, or MPAs. They rely more on the back end, the engine under the hood, which makes them fantastic for search engines right out of the box. It's a classic trade-off. Do you want that seamless lightning-fast user experience, or do you want instant visibility on Google?
Okay, so now we have a pretty good idea of what a web app is. Let's switch gears and talk about why. Why would you build one? What's the business case here?
Well, there are 4 huge advantages. First, deployments are way faster, because the whole process is just simpler. Second, access is universal. One single app works on any device with a browser, laptops, phones, tablets, you name it. The convenience for users is a massive plus, no fumbling through an app store. And all of this usually means lower development costs than building separate native apps for Apple and Android.
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head from the user's point of view. I mean, think about your own phone. How many apps do you really use? People have this app fatigue. They're tired of downloading yet another new thing. Being able to access a service instantly through a browser, it just removes all that friction.
Okay, so you're sold on the why, but how does it actually get built? Well, let's get into Section 3, the 6-stage roadmap. This is the journey from that little spark of an idea to a fully functioning live product.
So here it is, the entire life cycle at a glance. It all starts with the product concept, where you really nail down the idea. Then you have the project kickoff to get the team aligned. Next up is the discovery phase, and this is so important we're going to come right back to it. After that, you get into the fun, hands-on stuff, design, development, and finally, maintenance. Because let's be real, a great app is never truly finished.
All right, let's just pause here for a second because this is critical. The source material calls the discovery phase the most important part of the entire process. Why is that? Well, because this is where you confirm the idea is even possible. You test your assumptions, you build a quick prototype, and you truly define what the client wants and what the vision is. Getting this stage right saves you from incredibly costly mistakes down the line and makes sure everyone is building toward the exact same goal.
Which, of course, brings us to the question that's on everyone's mind, what does all this cost? So let's jump into Section 4 and start decoding the development budget.
The final price tag isn't just one number. It's really a blend of several key factors. The main things that drive the cost are the app's complexity, the size of your development team, your project timeline, the technologies you decide to use, and, maybe surprisingly, the geographic location of your team.
And out of all of those, complexity is probably the biggest one. It's simple, really.
More features and more complicated functions mean more time and more resources. A simple app with just a few core features is going to cost a tiny fraction of a huge, feature-rich platform that's built on some revolutionary new technology.
And you would not believe how much of an impact location has on the cost. The hourly rates for developers with the exact same skill set can vary dramatically around the world. A developer in the USA is typically going to cost the most, followed by Central Europe, with lower rates often found in places like Asia. This is a big reason why a lot of companies work with offshore teams to make their budget go further.
How you actually build your team matters a lot too. An in-house team gives you total control, but it also comes with high overhead costs. Outsourcing to an agency can often be faster and more cost-effective, and while hiring freelancers might seem like the cheapest option, you're usually trading that lower cost for potential risks in communication and overall quality.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We're on to our final section, your next big idea. It's time to put all of these pieces together.
So, what should you really take away from all this? First, remember that web apps are interactive tools. They're not just static pages. Second, they offer huge business benefits in speed, access, and cost. Third, the whole development journey follows a clear 6-stage roadmap. And finally, that final price tag, it's not some big mystery. It's a direct result of your project's complexity, your team, and your timeline.
We've covered the what, the why, and the how. We've hopefully demystified the process and decoded the costs. But now, the journey's yours. And that really leaves us with just one final, powerful question to think about. What problem is your web app waiting to solve?